life after college is bittersweet. It's a time of difficult changes, like leaving your college town, leaving friends, and adjusting to a brand new city. But with those changes come some great opportunities too. I mean, you never have to write another research paper for as long as you live. And the hours you spend working, you get paid for them. Personally, I would trade money over grades any day of the week. Transitions will occur, so get ready for some change. But overall, I think you'll enjoy life after college.
As you graduate, there's two things that happen financially. One is you get this great income, hopefully, because you land the big job as a result of all your study, hopefully. Maybe not immediately, but within a few months or within a year of graduation. So the one side of the equation is you get this great income. The second thing that happens is with that income, well, a lot of people go crazy. And they go buy a brand new car, and they go buy a house, and they go buy furniture, and all of a sudden they find themselves deeply in debt, but they look good. And so by running you guys through this class, that's what we're hoping to avoid. So when you come out with a big income, then you save and pay cash for your furniture. You save and pay cash for your next car. And you save and pay cash so you stay out of debt. And guess what that means? You get to keep your big income to use to give and to invest.
The hardest part about transitioning from college to the real world is really the hours you spend working. You go from a 15-hour week to a 40-hour week, and that's a very significant difference. But the best part about that is when you're in the real world working, you get a paycheck at the end of each month, and that is so worth it. What are the hardest transitions that people face when they graduate from college?
I think there's a couple of big ones. First, probably the transition out of dorm living or roommate apartment living into either living on your own and succeeding on your own that way, or if you had to transition back into mom and dad's place for a short period of time to get on your feet and going back into their rules and their living standards and what they expect of you, that's going to be very difficult after having all this freedom for so long. Another might be just the idea of transitioning into a regular 9-to-5 work day. The idea of really having a routine and that time management, whereas you've been used to crunch time and the cramming and the various classes and the interesting social life, being up until 3 in the morning and getting up at 7 as quick as you can to get to class. So I think those types of routines are going to be really difficult to transition. Some other areas, though, would be possibly the idea of now we have more income. So if you're not handling your income, your finances well, then just because you have more money doesn't mean that you're going to fix all those problems. So getting that under control is going to be very important so that when that new money comes in, it's just a great blessing in your life.
So those are the harder transitions. What do you think are the easier ones?
Well, Rachel, to be honest, making money. Now you've got some money for yourself to be able to manage and budget and do some things that maybe you couldn't do before. So you want to be aware of that. But making money is a good thing. But also on the other side of it is you don't have any more tests to study for, okay? Which is a good thing. However, you do have more free time. And adults, we have to spend time doing things, preparing for the next day. And you may work a job where you have to work extra at night. So you want to be mindful of that it's not all fun and games now. I think another one is you get a chance to now to begin to build your wealth and just take a path for your money and have a goal for you and your family. Unbelievable opportunity. So you want to plug in and start doing the things and continue to do the things that you learned with this program. So you can begin to implement those and get you and your spouse on the same page. And so you can move forward and make progress.
Boomerang kids, I don't know. I think it's higher than I would expect. Maybe 25.
Maybe 1%.
70, 80%. I know a lot of people who do.
Probably around 50.
50.
I would say probably not a small number, but a pretty large number, like 20% maybe.
So the whole purpose of college is trying to get away from family.
A lot of people aren't really ready to move on, so they move back into their parents' houses. So probably a higher percentage than most would think.
Hopefully I'm not one of them, but we'll see.
Lynn is on the line. Lynn just graduated from college, 23 years old, Huntsville, Alabama. Congratulations, Lynn.
Thank you, Dave. I just graduated from college and I was offered a job in LA last week. I want to take it, but I'm not sure I can afford to live there. How do I figure out the cost of living change if I move?
Ooh. Well, that's a nice offer, and LA is definitely an exciting place to live, but it is one of the most expensive cities in the world to live in. And let's see, Huntsville, Alabama, Los Angeles. Whoa, there's a difference in these two. So what are we going to do? Well, you go online and do a little bit of research. There's some cost of living indexes online. They're pretty easy to find. There's several different people post them. And it says it'll set a baseline, and then it'll show that the difference in Huntsville is a little below the baseline, and then LA is a little above the baseline, and so it will give you a mathematical number, like LA is 30% more expensive to live, or 22% or whatever, than Huntsville. And then you can kind of multiply that out and go, well, if an apartment in Huntsville costs this, if my monthly budget is X, then add, 26% or whatever if you're going to live in LA. So look up the index, and then don't have your sights set on too expensive a neighborhood. And then on top of that, what are we going to do? Well, you probably need to make a site visit out there. But don't take a job that just because it sounds glamorous and go broke because you move into a super expensive thing and you really weren't making enough to live there. I'd rather you be a little more conservative, live someplace without the flash and dash, and actually have some money, which is, after all, why we work. Congratulations on your graduation, Lynn, and good luck with the new position.